don't know what the hell that was. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Subscribe, mother looker.
Just not quite in the game because our mind is not pushing us, or we don't have that belief in ourselves. But I had that problem as a white belt in these competitions, and this year I plan to make sure my mental was just as technical as my jujitsu technique. So I wouldn't say I like believed in myself 100% that I was going to win, but I believed just enough to keep my heart in the game and to keep my mind in the game. And to be honest, during this match, during my first match, during my third match, that is what really made the difference. That is what brought me from third place, second place to first place. Just the mentality, having the heart, and just the gall to, really go out there and do what I came to do, regardless of who was going to be placed in front of me. So, hey, if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and comment any of your ideas and your thoughts that come up as you watch the video. It really will help the channel out, and I would really appreciate it. I like to talk with you guys. If you go back to any of my videos, anytime anybody comments, I will heart it, I will like it, I will communicate. Whether I agree with you or don't agree with you, I appreciate all comments. So holla at your boy. But without further ado, let us get into this second match. All right, let's do it. Here we go. I'm excited about this. This was my favorite match of the day. Not gonna lie. My favorite match of the day, and it was probably I was in the most vulnerable. The other matches kind of went much better than I assumed. This one, like I said, my mind was just a little bit in belief. So in the beginning, well, I guess I did my thing anyway. Anyway, let's get into this. So we dap it up. That respect. So what I want to do is get my collar or sleeve, but right now I'm thinking like if you pay attention, I'm dropping levels, I'm grabbing different things. It don't matter what I grab, I have a plan for it, but I like to go to that collar, that cross collar, and you see I already pulled to a collar drag, which that was part of the game plan. I think I do it a couple. Yep, drop Sayo. I try drop Sayo right into a collar drag. I'm building a system in everywhere, whether I'm defending, then going to an attack, whether I'm in mount, side control, standing up, bottom guard. You have to have a system. You can't just do one thing. You have to chain multiple things together as you grow in jujitsu and you start competing against and rolling with other people that know jujitsu. After a while, everybody pretty much is aware what's going on. And so you have to, at some point, force them to either A, you're going to give me your back, or you're going to allow me to sweep you. You're going to allow me to sweep you. If you don't allow me to sweep you, you're going to open up for an attack. So my top game for now is the cross collar and sleeve collar drag. I think is super overpowered. So overpowered. Why? Because it's very effective. One, and two, if you don't let go of those grips, you can recompose yourself. I could be wrong. Hey, let me know if I'm missing something. If there's a counter to this person holding on to this cross collar and sleeve and they pull into the collar drag and don't let go, let me know if there's a move against this. I want to be made aware. But as of right now, in practices, in competitions, I can hit that collar drag without too much concern as long as I grab onto those grips. And besides, anyway, if I end up on bottom, I want to be there. So I'm fine with it. But I hit a cross collar drag and go straight up into a drop Sayo. And if the drop Sayo don't work, then I go right back into a collar drag. I have another move where I do, so drop Sayo, boom, right into a collar drag. Um, I'm sure I could have did things better there. He tries to foot sweep me, so I try to foot sweep him. So right now, what I'm thinking is I'm not just going to pull, and I think he wants me to pull. So one way to be good at jujitsu is also understand that it's a mental game as well. And this is why your game has to be overall good, whether you're on bottom, you're on top, you're trying to pass, you're trying to retain guard, you're trying to control in a pin, mount, north, south, side control, or you got back. No matter what position you are in, it does your game such a great service. It does you such a great service to be familiar with all of those positions. Maybe you have your one niche that you like to do, like you like to be a top player, or you like to be a bottom player, or you like to be on the back, and you have your ways of getting to where you want to play, where you're most comfortable, but you need to have a solid foundation in all of those other positions. Um I have a solid guard game, and that's where I put most of my attention so far in this year and a half, not even year and a half, in this year and a couple of months of training. But I've also built a solid game in other positions. Same with standing. So now, because I have that ability, I can take my time standing up and playing the takedown and wrestling and grip game while we're on top. First, I'm using his energy, right? Second, he expects me to pull. At least I'm assuming at this moment he expects me to pull. Um and then I'm showing him like, "Hey, like I'm going to try and take you down." He doesn't know what I'm thinking. Maybe he's thinking like, "Oh, he's really trying to take me down." Right? Um and so I'm taking my time. Maybe I do want to pull. But maybe I want to tire him out before I pull. Or maybe I want to pull when he least expects it. And so that was my strategy. And so strategy is a really good way to get ahead of the game when you're in these jujitsu matches. So be thinking about how you want to play your game. Like you have your go-to game, like you know what you want to do. But how will you employ that? Are you going to come out and show him right away, "Hey, I want to pull," and you try to pull guard? Or are you going to, maybe stand up and let him work to get you down? And as you're about to go down, then you get into your guard. Um, are you going to do a takedown and see what you can do? Or are you going to play around with him like I am right now? If I can even say play around, I'm not that good that I'm sitting here, playing chess when these guys are playing baby checkers or something like that. But I had a strategy that I was employing. I got my collar sleeve grip. I love collar sleeve guard. I have a collar sleeve system. I have a collar sleeve takedown system. I have a collar sleeve knee slice system. I have a collar sleeve smash. Collar sleeve, collar sleeve, collar sleeve. It's my base game. But I branch out into other things. But as you see here, I have my collar sleeve. So we did some drop Seonagi tries. We did some collar drags. We're pushing and we pulled and we dropped levels to act as if we're going to shoot in for a single leg. So I'm playing the game here, right? What I'm not doing is standing still and allowing him to and think long enough to play his game. So sometimes you'll see I'm pulling and then sometimes I'm pushing. Right now I'm pushing and then I'll circle. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll stand still. I'm not allowing him I'm not following his plan. And then boom, I drop to my guard, which I'm fine with. When you drop to your guard, and I've talked about this in other videos, space is one of those things that you have to have a great understanding of. Okay? When you drop to your guard, boom, I drop to my guard. I have created space. Look how far. Let me get my mouse. on right now. Look how far his hips are from my hips. Okay? This space is, again, little details that are overpowered. This space and breaking his posture and having him bent over like this, think about trying to do a deadlift from out here. It's very hard. Okay? That's because I pushed his hips away and created space as I'm dropping. My foot went right into his hip control. Okay? Another way to pull into guard. Have your feet on his hips. So my right leg could be right here. My left leg could be on the other side, controlling his rotational movement. So he's not going to rotate to the left of me or to the right of me without me being able to control him. Remember also, I have my collar sleeve, so I'm controlling his posture as well. Or when you pull guard, you can have like butterfly grips with your feet. You can have your feet inside, your left leg behind his right knee pit, and your right leg coming right here behind his other. Again, now what I want to do to the space is close the distance, because the more weight, the more his center of gravity, the more his hips are on top of my shins. When I have a butterfly guard, the more leverage I can have to lift them up this way, high, or to turn on a hip and then lift them up the other way and flip them. So when you pull guard, your feet need to be active. You need to have active feet. They either need to be in the hip, controlling distance backwards, or in the hip, or on the sides of the hips, controlling rotational movement, whether he wants to go left or right. Right? The only option he'll have is to come forward, or you want to have him under the hips, which controls leverage. You control the ability to lift him up. Okay? So if he brings himself towards you, that's great for you. You just lift him up. Easy leverage with your legs. Boom, bada bang. So I pull to my collar sleeve, and immediately he breaks those grips. He yanks it. And I am not the one to hold on with a death grip when I see somebody's yanking with all their strength. I let them. And actually right here next time, and this is how you learn from roles. Sometimes you don't, and I could have made a mistake right here. Black belts, higher belts, any belt. If you have pointers for me, if I made a mistake in this moment, let me know. Holler at your boy. But I let go of his sleeve, and I immediately, in my head, I'm like, I need to have some grips on this person. Right? I need to have some kind of grips on him right now. That's exactly what my mind was thinking. I saw he was pulling and yanking himself away, and I thought to myself, I don't want to hold on to those grips, hurt myself, and hold on to those grips so tight that I tire my grips out while this match has just started. Never going to hold on to people's grips that hard. If you yank it away, I'm going to let you. But something I saw here, as he yanked away, and I knew he was going to, I had a split moment where I made the decision that I was going to let him go. I could have easily put my feet behind his ankles, and when he goes up like this, I can pull his feet and kind of push him back. So I could have did a sit up, put my feet behind him, pulled his ankles towards me, his feet towards me with my feet, and pushed him forward as I come up. That's a good option. So when he yanks here, like at this moment, about right here, I'm like, okay, he's about to yank. My feet could have dropped because he doesn't have grips on my pants. He has his hand resting on my right pant leg, but it's not a grip. But even if he did, I could lower my feet down under him. And once they get under him, I hook with one leg here. I hook with the other foot here. So hook with my 2 feet and sit up while I'm pushing him back as he wants to go backwards and up, and pull his feet this way. That's what I will do, or try to do, the next time someone just yanks up that way. It's the push and pull idea of jiu-jitsu. So he yanks up, and as he yanks up, recognize like how that grip that was just resting on my leg went to a grip and a leg drag he tried. Very, very good. I mean, he's a blue belt, right? White belt, maybe we don't do that. Blue belts, we got a little bit of technique we know we're trying to do. So he grabs my leg. Looks like he's about to try to leg drag it, right? He could have did so much better with that leg drag if he would have just went for it. I was all stretched out right there. Like I'm all stretched out right here. Like my hips are bad. But I did grab his leg. I had to get some kind of attachment on him. My goal right now, because he's yanked himself from my grips, is to make meaningful attachments and get my feet back in front. And that starts with turning into him and putting my knees in between my chest and his chest, putting my knees in between me and him. Jiu-Jitsu 101, what you should be learning in the beginning: frame, 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 frame. Okay? And that's what I went back to right here. Just framing and getting my feet out. And it just so happened that I felt like when I'm just framing and he was like giving me his arm. If you pay attention here, he has one arm in his right arm, which we can't see, but we can imagine it like up in that area down inside of my guard. And the other arm is out. It is grabbing on this leg, but it's one arm in and one arm out. I felt his arm inside and I was like, oh. And I looked at his face too. He was kind of like, I don't know, maybe disappointed in himself, or like, oh, snap, or maybe it hurt. I don't know. But I was right in this moment. My mind is already thinking no longer frame. I'm thinking attack. I'm thinking of omoplata, because my leg is under his armpit for that position. I'm also thinking like an arm bar. Somehow I in my head I'm thinking, oh, his arm is inside. I have his arm. So in a way, I kind of my attention of what I'm going to do from here, what I should be doing from here, diverts from framing, because I'm kind of a little safe now that he's behind my knee and I have a foot in his arm, a leg almost wrapping around his arm in like a omoplata opportunity. I'm diverting my attention to how can I attack from here? Because if you're attacking, sometimes they'll stop their attack. And I think he does kind of back off a little bit as to not put himself in a vulnerable situation. See, look at this. Look, I can't. He got his hand out of there. But look at his hand. His hand is face up right now. Like his thumb is right here and his fingers are right here. And I have his sleeve. And of course I'm doing the, traditional pushing his hand into my pocket, into his pocket, and my leg is wrapped around. Right now, it's like Christmas for me. I'm like, yeah, this is what I work. This is what I work. Yay. But then he backs off. Like I said, like if he kept going, he would have been in trap. Sometimes it's just good to try to attack from a position if you can, and you actually can make something work because this person is doing a certain, he's putting himself self in a certain way. Take the opportunity, think about different positions that people are in. Like, a lot of it you can take advantage of a move, especially if you're familiar and you're working on those things. It's like, okay, this position works for me. If you want to put your arm there, I'll take that. I'll work with that. But he's still trying to pass right now, so I still have to focus on keeping my feet and my shins and knees in front of me and in front of him. Keeping my knees very close to my side and my chest. I'm not reaching out for him and flat. As soon as I reach out flat, it's like trying to do butterfly kicks. Is working my abs, and it's just a weak position for yourself. You're not trying to do leg raises to work your abs at this match. What you're trying to do is just keep him from getting to your chest. And the perfect way to do that is really focus on, when you're in open guard, keeping your knees to your chest, or even better, keeping your knees right parallel to your ribs, close to your side, as if you were like trying to hold your knees in but out to the side. Very good guard. If you can focus on that. um I don't think I like that my foot is caught on his outside right here. My right foot is caught on his outside. I want that on this side. Let's see what we do with that. But he has a grip on my pant leg. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I'm really focused on his right side. Maybe if he like leg drag this leg to like that side, like change directions on me really fast, that would have caught me off guard. Because right now I'm focused on him going this way. But if he just grips this, swings it that way, if he just grips my leg and swing it that way, and like steps back and then around, that would be a fast and probably a hard movement to keep up with. Event you got to rock the boat, and if he's trying to go this way, then he leg drags me that way. Then I recover, and then he cuts back the other way. Like, that's tiring for me on the bottom. While he's maybe putting pressure on my legs, my hamstrings are going to get tired. My calves are going to get tired. I'm going to get tired. And the more tired a person is, the harder it is. But I get my feet in. He's grabbing me and gripping my my pant leg on this side. So I also grip his sleeve. That's a great way to get somebody's sleeve. Like, they're going to come to you. You don't have to go to them. When they make attachment to you, it's an opportunity for you to make attachment to them. His legs are far away. I can't grab those. But what I can grab is his arms and his collar. Why? Because his head is towards me. Sometimes people are standing up tall and I can't grab their upper body. But what they do have towards me is their legs, because they have to stand close to me. So then I go for leg attachments, some leg configurations, whether De La Hiva, Ashigarami, single leg X guard. Right now, what he's giving me is his sleeves, so I work with that. Um, Also, I'm still being active with my bottom leg here, gripping the inside, trying to pull myself to him or pull him to me, while I have a lasso like configuration with my left leg. He's snatching, I'm holding, get my lasso in. He does a really good job of getting his hand out immediately. So when he did that, I was like, oh, okay, he knows lasso. Paid attention to that real quick. Um, just a good movement for him. He immediately swam his hand out, and that's what people should do. As soon as somebody gets that lasso on you, as soon as somebody gets a certain grip on you, deal with it then and there if you have to, right? If it doesn't stop your pass, if it doesn't stop your takedown or whatnot or anything, if the grip doesn't matter to the technique that you're trying to perform, which you should know, you should be familiar with your techniques and your systems. Don't worry about it. But had he not done that, I would have went right into a game. So that is an important grip that he should respond to. He's getting it out. What do I do? So I go to my De La Hiva. He pulled his hand out, so I go to my De La Hiva. My De La Hiva, almost the same. Not really. I have attacks and sweeps from Lasso Guard. I do have some sweeps from De La Hiva. But De La Hiva for me, I don't really use as a sweep. I can if I don't get what I want from it. What I use De La Hiva for is for a collar and sleeve triangle a choke, right? So when I'm in De La Hiva, what I'll usually do is I'll get my collar and sleeve. Let's see if I let go of his right hand. No, I don't. So right there, you see my leg come up. I thought, okay, maybe I'll try omoplata. Um, didn't really work. Um, here's ideas from this position. Here's some ideas. How do I break this grip? Or do I need to break that grip? Let's say that first. Do I need to break that grip? Not necessarily. Um, if he's going backwards, I can rotate myself this way using this leg that's in his hip to push that way, and also um let go of this grip, grab his collar, and push him that way. While I'm gripping this hand, so it's like, hey, if you want to keep that there, I'm gonna hold it here. Um, and we're gonna go this way, rocking the boat, okay? So maybe that doesn't sweep him, maybe it does, but let's say it doesn't. Why is that good? Because then it opens him up to other techniques. So say it doesn't take him down, but this elbow and knee connection he has right here opens up. Right? So he opens up his elbow and knee because he was about to go that way, and he had to open up his elbow and knee to keep balance. That would allow me then to put my foot here, my left foot here. Stretch him out. Remember, I was saying earlier, his hips are very quite close to me. But if I have my foot on the hip, this hip to my hip space would open up with my foot on the hip, leaving his arm vulnerable to an omoplata. Okay, rocking the boat. What else could I do? I could keep my De La Hiva hook, keep his hands, pull this hand this way, and use leverage to pull him into me. So almost hamstring curl this De La Hiva while I'm pushing up. I'm also pulling in. So almost like in a motion towards this way. So I'm pushing him up and over. He'll have to base out with this leg. What does that allow me? It frees up this leg. So then again, he be stretched out between his elbow and knee connection, which would allow me to put a foot up in here and then have this right foot come around and chop down for a triangle. So the reason I use De La Hiva is transitionary between my collar sleeve triangle and omoplata and armbar attack. Sometimes I use it as a sweep, the Marigali sweep, or just traditional De La Hiva sweeps, putting the arm, his hand, tucking it behind him while I got the collar and coming this way because he's tight, on this side. It makes it when he's tight on there, it shuts down my omoplata and triangle attack, but it opens up my ability to off balance him to this way because his weight is on this side, you know. So paying attention to those little details really help. Let's see. I think I was trying to off balance him forward, but what I did is I pushed my legs out that way. I don't know if y'all recognize that. When I should have been crunching him in towards me and over. Um he's doing a good job in trying to pass my guard. His grips on me. I'm not breaking my grips. What else could I have done in there? So you recognize his foot is off the ground. That's because I was pulling him in that direction to off balance him. But what else could I have done there? I could have got my knee inside that arm to break off his grip on me. So he's trying to leg drag me again, Toriando. But I'm keeping these sleeve grips. I like double sleeve as well. Um, really trying to play around with off balance him to the top. I think at one point I was gonna do like I thought maybe I have to go into a reverse De La Hiva. But whatever the case, I'm trying my best to off balance him and keep him moving. I don't want him to get real sturdy and get a good base. I'm trying to just off balance him, threaten some attacks, but at the same time, I have to keep my legs in front of me. You'll notice I have my legs on his hip. I have my leg on his shoulder. He snatches away, so now I go to like a De La Hiva. I pull him on top of me. I push him forward. I want it so bad right here. I want it so bad right here to go to an X guard. Right here, I wanted to get my leg inside so bad, but I couldn't. I just didn't have enough time. Um, if I did, I don't know, maybe I could have kept swimming under. I don't know what kind of technique that would be as he's up in the air. I needed to do better control of his upper body. And right now he's based out on his hand. He's based out on his hand, and that's good. Like I said in the beginning, like I'm trying to rock his boat. I'm trying to get him off balance to create opportunities for myself in these spaces that open up. I'm trying to get his hands um occupied so he's not putting them on me. And it's so easy to do that with leg entanglements, whether it's De La Hiva, reverse De La Hiva, butterfly, ashi. When you get your legs on people and you're on the bottom, and you're making grips, your job, don't really think about uh attacks necessarily. Your job is to open this person up, get him flowing and moving. And his job is to stay stable and keep you from moving. Keep your back flat on the ground, control your hips, right? Or be fast enough that that person can't keep up with you, like throwing his leg to the left, throwing it to the right, ducking under, knee sliding through, pulling them up, for you know, just a throw over a dump truck pass or whatever. Um, and that's kind of the game. And I think what he's doing, he's got about as good top game as I have a bottom game. And we're just playing around right now. That's the game. My job is to keep my feet attached and to stay attached to him enough that I can have my way. I can sweep him from his off balance, or I can attack him from him opening up, or I can take his back from him opening up. So those are kind of like, as Mikey Musamechi would say, the boxes: back take, sweep, attack, or was it 3 or 4 boxes? Back take, sweep, attack, back take, sweep, attack. Maybe it's just back take, sweep, and attack. But anyway, right now I'm off balancing him, which is threatening a sweep. And that allowed, look, his hand is on the floor here. That's a win for me. So far. Better than his hands being on me. He doesn't want his hands on the ground. He doesn't. But it doesn't help him. It helps me. It helps to post him, but that's a defensive move, not offensive. Um, as far as I know, I don't know. Jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu. Sometimes you see stuff and you're like, what the fudge? Um, but in my De La Hiva, I usually don't play with my hand on his uh foot right here. But hey, I was doing it right now. And I believe my left hand is on his same side collar. What do I do with this? So he comes down on his knee, and I want to get my foot. If you see my foot starts to rotate in, I'm trying to get it on his hip, and I tried to, get my knee. I tried to get this knee while this foot was still up. I tried to get this knee behind his knee and have my foot right there. And then have my other foot right under his the back of his right knee. That's X guard. So let's see. I'll put a video up here on X guard. But there's one move that I just love. I fell in love with. It's like a push the top hips with the top X push and then come down to their ankle and then pull, and it's just like it just feels so easy and so just simple. It's a simple movement, easy movement, and they just fall right over. I gotta either find one, I gotta find one on YouTube, um, or I'll record one with my wife and show you guys. Just a beautiful movement. I fell in love with it immediately. I love it, and I don't even play X guard a lot. Um, am I laughing right here? What in the world is going on? Hold on. If I were him, he did a good job defending against the lasso. If I were him right here, I would have went into a knee cut on me. He has a great position to try to do a knee cut. Look, boom, 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 boom. He just puts his foot down, right down, and takes his knee, which was pressuring into my family jewels, off. Made it more comfortable for me. I don't know, maybe he felt that I was doing something else and needed to establish himself. But looks to me like he was able to do it. Like right now, he either could, and I did this in my first match, is like a knee smash. He either could knee smash me and bring his right knee under my legs and like smash me in this direction, look up a knee smash, or he could have rotated my hips to this side, put my left leg, he could have flattened it out to the ground and took this knee that he has on me. That's a lot of pressure for a bottom guard player. Understand that. Like you can put a ton of pressure onto somebody. Use your hand to flatten their back out and like knee cut through, like going that way. Like right now, like he could, I think, could easily take his shoulder, put it, you know, with rotating me down to the side. I'd have to turn this way because he would have pushed me that way. He could have easily took his shoulder and his body on his left side and put it into inside of my guard and just knee cut through and pulled my other arm, my left arm. He could have just pulled it up, pressure down with his knee in this direction, and flattened this leg out to the ground and did a knee cut slide. Look up knee cut slide if you don't know what a knee cut slide is. Very basic guard pass, but very effective when you put it in a system with other guards. He backed out. And as soon as he backed out, it allowed me to put in a lasso. And really, he's not moving right now. Like, look how active I am in getting my grips, my feet, trying to do something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was just expecting to, pass my guard easily. I don't know. To me, and actually right here, I should have reckoned. Well, no, because this guy did a really great job with getting his hand out of my lasso. I think he just did a really great job. He was shutting it down left and right, and I recognized that during the roll. I really liked this roll. But recognize I got this foot in. You know what I'm saying? I keep my bottom leg. I try to keep it active whenever I'm playing guard. Also, I have not let go of that sleeve. Haven't let it go. That's a good control grip. If I let that go, he's going to take that hand and do something up top with my head and shoulders. I don't want to let that go. I'm going to die with that grip for now. In most of my lasso guard, I haven't seen many reasons. I haven't had many reasons, even with the bigger opponents that I practice and roll against, my partners that I train against, even the bigger opponents, I haven't found much reason to let it go. Maybe bad technique, so I have to let it go. But if my technique was better, I better be able to utilize that grip and just snatch the lasso out, rewrap it right back in, or use them coming on top of me, push my arm, push the leg through, bring my knee back into their armpit, take this this foot right here, kind of knee lever it, and while I bring that armpit with my knee onto me, rotate this way while I knee lever with this foot. So I'm pushing them this way. That's a really good sweep. Shout out Marcos Tinoco. Maybe I'll throw that here in the video so you can see. I do it all the time. It's overpowered. And it's unexpected. Right now, if his hand was in there, a lot of people will get me in this position right here in the lasso. And maybe you guys end up in this position. Don't let go of your lasso from here. Don't let go of it. I think even now, maybe I might even have been able to do it. To next time you're in it, kick your leg through and get your knee, instead of being right here, get your knee behind their armpit and pull them that way on top of you. When they're on top of you, bring this knee right here on the bottom, bring it up like to the sky, and base this foot right here on the outside of their foot, and then rotate them this way. They don't have anything to post with. Guess what? You're trapping their leg here with this like knee lever like movement with this foot and leg, and you have them trapped in a lasso here. So what are they going to base out with on this side? They're not. You're just going to roll them right over. It's overpowered. It's OD. What do I do from here? I think immediately here I go to something that I rarely play, but shout out Coach Tony, Independent Villarica MMA and Fitness. Coach Tony, thank you so much for your classes and deep half guard. Love it. So deep half, okay? What I'm doing here, I'm trying to get up under him. So I'm trying to shelf his right leg, which is out of our sight right now. I'm trying to get my shoulder and arm under him on the other side, so I can like hug his leg on the other side. And at the same time, I'm keeping this knee in, again, my frames, so he can't get chest to chest on me. If my knee is inside, I'm fine. He's not passing my guard with that knee in there. Right now, he should be focusing on getting this leg out and maybe like down to the ground. This hand that he has right here should be grabbing my knee and leg on this side and smashing it down to the ground. Not sure what he wants to do with this. We'll see. But that's what I think his hand should be doing. Maybe he's unfamiliar with this position. I believe he is unfamiliar with this position. Yep, he's paying attention to his coach. And look what he does. He takes his hand, grabs my leg, lets it go. My job is to wrap. You see how I'm under him? I'm safe. Right now I'm safe. He's not messing with my legs, which he should be. He should be messing with my right leg to push it down off of him onto the mat and get it flat. And maybe like step around into the mount. Like imagine that. Like had he let's go back a little bit. Look, as he's based out on his right leg now a little bit. Boom, right here. Right here was his opportunity, okay? My right leg is his objective right now. He needs to take this hand, grab, like sit up a little bit. I'm trying to keep him down. That's my goal. I want his posture broken down while I'm scooping up his other leg. And like I showed y'all before, like I'm under him, under his groin with his thigh right here, and I'm wrapping around his leg, or I'm wrapping around and grabbing the other side of his body. But I'm wrapped around him some way. My job is to get under him because when I have him on top of me, his weight is easy to move. I'm not trying to bench press him, or not bench press, but curl him with my arms. I'm using my body, which is much stronger. I can lift him. I can easily lift and move him. A lot of people. You can move even bigger people like that. My job is to get under him. And shortly, in just a second, I'll complete that objective. His job right now, which is his window, is to take this hand and grab up on my like shin, probably knee area, somewhere right in this area. If he grabs too low, it's like gonna just move my leg off of him, which maybe then he can do a back step. If he grabs too high on my leg, I'm very strong there. But if he grabs right here, like somewhere in this area, I think, not my knee, but not my bottom shin. If he grabs somewhere in this area with his hand and pushes this part down, he can take this leg out. His other leg is in my hip. Or what could he have gone for? Maybe he could have gone for a triangle. You know, if he moves this leg down on flat on the ground, he could probably go for a triangle, right? With this arm, he takes that hand that he was pushing this leg down with. Once he gets that leg through, it's like in my hip area, which I don't want him in, which is why I have my knee in that space. A lot of lines here, but follow me. Just rewatch it. If it's a little confusing. I know it's a little confusing, but really trying to point out some details of what I'm thinking right here. If he removes my knee and puts it down, he's now able to step over with this leg into my hip and armpit space, which I dominant control, whether you got a leg in there or arm. Right now he's got maybe a little arm. He gets this leg over, take this hand that was controlling that leg that he now put down, scoops this arm up, puts that leg under my head. That's a triangle. Because remember, I have his leg on my shoulder right now. I don't know if y'all can envision that, but right now is his opportunity. And as we see, he's kind of waiting. I'm lucky here because, like I said, I don't play this much. I don't play this much, but as I'm watching it, and this is why I love jujitsu because it's a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure maybe he really enjoyed this role because when you're able to just think about what's going on, when you can see what's going on, is really informing. And it's like a great game of chess. You really just enjoy like the movement and thinking. That's why I love jujitsu. But this is a great opportunity. Just look, watch. He's thinking. And so am I. I don't know this position well. Maybe he doesn't know it well. Now his opportunity is gone. Why is his opportunity gone? Because now I've gotten my objective before he can find or figure out his. See this arm? I'm under him now. What I really need to do is straighten my legs out so I can straighten his leg out. Then I'll really have him off balance. Yes. Yeah. Corbin is in bed. Lena and Taryn are upstairs in the living room, calm and resting. Window, Taryn is laying on the couch for his nap, but watching baby Finn. Okay, that was years of Corbin cries. Okay. Okay. Just playing it. Okay, where was I? Um, I don't remember where I was. Where was I? Okay, yeah, I needed to straighten his leg out. Then he'd really be off balance. Um, I think at this moment, this right hand came under, and I grabbed his right sleeve, and with my right hand as I'm under him. And so, or with my left hand as I'm under him, I grab his right sleeve. And so now the game's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with, lower level blue belt. I don't know if he's a lower level blue belt. He just doesn't have any stripes. But it's super power, another overpower. I mean, all technique is overpowered when you understand it. And the other person might not. And luckily I'm still a blue belt, so I get to have a little bit of fun with that. Um, so yeah, I grab his right sleeve with my hand here. That's a hand. And I'm going to start rocking him backwards and rocking him forward. As I'm rocking him forward right now, you see he bases out. But what happens when I rock him back and I have this leg stretched out here? He just falls over. So let's see how this position develops. Maybe I don't have his yeah, I don't think I have his sleeve yet. I pushed myself out from under him. I shouldn't have done that. But one thing I did do well is that I'm getting back to it. You'll notice like how I'm squeezing my hand through. Another overpowered detail, getting your hand inside. Like, dang, I really messed up this movement. I really did. Like, man. But this is what I love because I'm coming back and I'm seeing like, okay, what do half guard happens? Like people advance past my guard, right? I got collar sleeve. Then they break down my collar sleeve. I have to go to Delahiva. Then they break down my Delahiva. Now I have to go to half guard. If they break down my half guard, then I go to reverse Delahiva. If they break down my reverse Delahiva, now I'm in quarter guard. Like having your stops along the way, right? And that's exactly how a great guard is built. Is like really understanding how these things work together. Like, what are your games? You know what I'm saying? And you can mix and match them. Maybe at some point you went to X guard and From X guards, you went to Ashi, and from Ashi they push it down, so you went to butterfly guard. And they get past one leg, so now you're in half guard, and then now you're in De La Hiva, and now you're in quarter guard. You got to see how all those work together, and what's the point of them? Why do I use this in my game? Like I was saying, I go to collar sleeve, then I go to De La Hiva when they close that elbow knee space. I have a purpose that I use for De La Hiva. Sometimes sweep, most of the time it's off balancing. So right now, like I said, I've never practiced deep half much, but I have been to practices where my coach is teaching it, and I pay attention. Even though I don't play this much, you pay attention. And thank God I paid attention, because I needed it. I needed it in the toolbox. Sometimes your toolbox got to be deep. Maybe you don't got to understand deeply, but you got to have a deep toolbox. And I messed this part up for sure. If I had taken this left hand, and which I thought I did, but I guess I didn't, and grabbed his right sleeve and then just rotated my hips this way while I was pulling him this way, and maybe stretched this leg out over my shoulder a little bit more, it would have been an easy sweep this way. All right, let's just see how it develops more. I think I was trying to come out the back, and he sat back. And then I had to, that's why I pause it. This is very important. Watch my right hand. He pushed it out and got like a underhook on me, and his head is low because he knows that I'm trying to get my underhook back. Like right now, this is his armpit. And watch my hand slide on through to get control of his inside. Because then I can do more, I can have more control of him. It's like a hug. Like hug somebody, have them hug you under your arms and hug their neck, and tell me who you think is in more control. Then have them hug your neck and you hug under their arm, and tell me who you think is in more control. It's as simple as understanding it in that way. So right now I'm trying to hug under his arm with my right hand. And so watch it just slide on through. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Nah, you see my hand there? Trying to see the light. Trying to see the light. Pushing, pushing. While I'm turning back on my side. He's trying to get me flat. He's trying to get me, my shoulders and my hips flat. But I'm staying concave. I'm staying like in a ball with my knees up. And this whole time I'm making sure that I don't let go of this leg. You see? I have to keep this leg trapped. But I'm concave, and I got my arm through. Again, the little objectives. Little objectives in positions matter. If you know what the objective is in certain positions and you execute them well and you're patient in them, you'll win many of the goals in the match. And if you do it enough, you're very likely to win the match. Granted, you don't get tapped in some way. Freak accidents happen. Check out my first video. First match, almost got tapped there. Up 7 points and get tapped. Almost. Happens. So I got my arm under. Got my knee in again. And you see I'm hipping under him. I'm shrimping under him. Very good position for me. And I'm rocking now. Now I'm about to rock him back to the other. I think I have his right leg finally stretched out over in order to rock him back. I think. I don't know what the hell that was. I'm not even going to lie to you. It just worked. Don't ask me how I did it. I don't know. I don't know, man. like I told you, this is one of my favorite matches because it was out of my comfort zone of what being familiar with. I'm not familiar with half guard, but I think the whole second half of the match and recognize it was 0-0 up to this point. And very likely because he was on top the whole time is very likely. I don't know. Maybe the ref thinks, because I was being active in like collar jack. Maybe the ref would have called, like, okay, gave me um the win. But it was 0-0 up until like 5 seconds. I didn't even know it was only 5 seconds left. I didn't know. And in the last 5 seconds, I pass his guard or I sweep him, 2 points, and then I mount him, 4 points. I think I had 8 points. So maybe because I passed the guard or something like that, they gave me 2 more points. But up until the last minute, this was down to the wire in my book. This was my favorite match of the day. Because it's something new, like fresh. It's a new endeavor to like go down the journey, of adding to the game. And it's important that I remember this. That's how the game works. That's how you build your game. You recognize positions that you're weak in. Of course, you build your strengths, but once you recognize the positions that you're weak in, you build on top of them. You have a game plan for it. Maybe you don't need to go down the rabbit hole with that certain position, but have some have a go-to game plan. Um, so I really enjoyed this match. Tired in the mug. I appreciate the role with him. Um, keep your head up, brother. I think he got a third place. Oof. It was a good match, man. I was so tired. But like I said in the previous, this point is my favorite part. Just saying, hey man, looking at each other, say, hey, good fight, brother. Good match. Thank you for the role. Respecting one another, letting him know, like, hey man, like you had a good role. Thank you. And it was. He did such a great job shutting down my lasso. Uh, I was on defense most of the time, trying not to get my guard passed. Had he put me in a position that I wasn't familiar with, and it came down to the last couple of seconds. So, favorite match of the day. Um, really enjoy rolling with you. His name is, I think, Chan Elliott. I believe that was his name, Chan Elliott. My name is Terrace Elliott. So.
Subscribe, mother looker.